Rhonda kept $1,840 in 9 months, and she never earned a single extra dollar to do it. Same job, same hours, same paycheck. What changed was the order, not the amount, the order. And I am going to show you the whole thing, week by week, including the 2 weeks she missed and the month she almost quit, because that part matters more than the total. Rhonda is 54. She lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the same rented house she has been in since her youngest was in middle school. She works as a home health aide, 3 clients, 32 hours a week, sometimes more, when somebody in the office calls out. She has done that work for 11 years, and in those 11 years, she had never once had money that belonged only to her. Not because anybody stopped her, because there was never a moment in the month when her money was hers before it was something else. The check landed on a Friday. Rent was due the 1st. Power was due the 9th. The car note was the 15th. Her mother's prescriptions came whenever her mother needed them, which was often. By the time anything was left over, there was nothing left over. That is the part almost nobody says out loud, so I will. For most women in her situation, the problem is not spending. The problem is position. She was last in her own line. Now, what started this? Rhonda read a comment under a video on this channel. A woman had written 5 words, "Start to pay myself first." 35 people had liked it. Under it, another woman had written, "I refuse to allow a spouse to question me about withdrawing or saving money that I work for. That is too much control. Notice or not, I am paying myself first." Rhonda told me she read those twice, put the phone down, and went to bed annoyed. Not at the women, at how obvious it sounded, and at how she had never done it in 11 years. The next Friday, the check came in, and before she paid anything at all, she moved $50 into a separate account at a different bank than the one her regular money sits in. $50. That is the whole method. Now let me be honest about why she picked a different bank, because that detail is the one most people skip. It was not secrecy, it was distance. Money in the same app as the grocery money is not saved money, it is money waiting in line. She needed a place she would not see when she opened her phone to check something else. Week 1, $50. And here is what surprised her, and what surprises almost everybody who tries this. The month closed anyway. Rent got paid. The lights stayed on. Nobody in that house ate less. $50 out of a check that size is not what decides whether a month closes. It never was. Week 2, 50. Week 3, 50. Week 4, 50. At the end of the first month, she had $200, and she told me the strangest part was that she kept expecting something to go wrong because of it. Nothing did. Month 2 went the same way. $400. Month 3 is where it broke. Her transmission went out. $1,100, and a home health aide with no car does not have a job. She had $450 saved. She used all of it and borrowed the rest from her sister. That night she cried, and not about the car. She told me exactly what went through her head, and I think a lot of you have thought the same sentence. See, this is not for me. Every single time I try, something happens. She came very close to stopping. What kept her going was something her sister said on the phone, and it is the most important line in this whole video. Her sister asked her, 3 months ago, who would have paid for that transmission? Rhonda said, you would have. And her sister said, right. So this time you paid $450 of your own problem with your own money. That has never happened in your life. She did not lose that money. She used that money. For the first time in 11 years, she solved something instead of asking someone. Month 3 was not the failure of the plan. It was the first proof the plan worked. Before I go through the rest of the months, one thing, and it is the only time I mention it. What Rhonda did, moving a fixed piece out before the month can eat it, is the first of 3 jars in a method I put together in a short ebook. It is called the 3 jars method, and the link is right below this video, first in the description. No spreadsheets, no complicated words, no promises of a miracle, because I do not have miracles to sell. It costs less than lunch. If you do not want it, that is completely fine. The whole math of this video is yours already. But if you want the step-by-step of all 3 jars, that is where it is. Back to her. Month 4, she started again from 0 and did not punish herself for it. $200. Month 5, she only managed $120. Her mother had 2 doctor visits and the co-pays were real. And I want to stop on that month because month 5 and month 3 are different and almost everybody confuses them. In month 3, the money left the account. In month 5, the money never arrived. Both feel the same when you are the one saving. They are not the same. In one of them, the plan worked exactly as designed. In the other, life was simply tighter. Confusing the two is what makes people quit, because they end up deciding that nothing works. Month 6, 200. Month 7, 200. Month 7 is when she noticed something she had not planned for. She stopped having to remember. The transfer happened on Friday, the way the rent happened on the 1st, without a decision attached to it. That is what a system is, a decision you only make once. Month 8, $200. And in that month, a co-worker asked to borrow $60 until payday. Rhonda lent it. She told me she did not sleep well that night, and it was not worry. It was that for the first time in her adult life, she had been the person somebody asks instead of the person who asks. Month 9, $200 plus $40 from a shift she picked up on a Saturday. 9 months, $1,840. Now here is the honest part, and I'm not going to dress it up. $1,840 does not change a life. It does not pay off a house, it does not fix a retirement, and anybody telling you otherwise is selling something. But there is a second number in this story that almost nobody counts. And it is the one that actually matters. In those 9 months, she saved fully 7 times, missed 1 month completely, and came up short in another, 7 out of 9. She did not learn that she could save $1,800. She learned that she is a person who does the thing 7 times out of 9. That number does not go away when the money gets spent. And there is one more thing which I saved for last, because it is the real reason this video exists. The Federal Reserve publishes a survey every year on the financial well-being of American households. It has been running since 2013, and the question that gets quoted most is the simplest one on it. Could you cover an unexpected $400 expense with cash? Year after year, a large share of households answers no. Rhonda answered no her whole adult life. In month 3 of this, without noticing, she answered yes. She covered $450 of a real emergency with her own money. She crossed that line 8 months before she reached her total, and nobody told her she had crossed it. That is the thing about this. The number everybody watches is the balance. The number that changes your life is the day you stop being one emergency away from asking somebody one last thing, and it is for week 3. Somewhere around the 3rd week, when the transfer has happened 2 or 3 times, there is a day when the amount looks ridiculous. $150, nothing you can buy with that. That day is the most dangerous one, and not because of the money. It is dangerous because that is the day the voice says, "This is not doing anything, I might as well use it." Almost everybody who quits that week, not the first week, when remembering is hard. That one, when remembering got easy and the result still looks small. What the ones who got past it say is always the same. They were not looking at the amount, they were counting the times. Tell me down below what your 50 would be, not your paycheck, not your bills. Just the piece that could leave on payday without your month noticing. I read every one of them, and I already know what is coming, because it always comes. Half of you will write a number and then think it is too small to matter. That is exactly what Rhonda thought on the first Friday, standing at an ATM in a parking lot in Charlotte. If you want to see what those transfers do while you are not watching them, there is a video on this channel that goes through it habit by habit. It comes up right after this one. And if there is a woman in your life who has worked for 10 or 20 years and has never once had money that was only hers, send her this. She will stop at the transmission part.